Welcome back to Digital Wiz Academy. We've explored designing in Figma, and now it's time to bring your designs to life. In this video, we'll focus on prototyping and interactivity. You'll learn how to create interactive prototypes, add transitions and animations, and test your prototypes. Let's dive into the world of interactive design. Dear friends, the first topic of today's discussion is creating interactive prototypes. Prototyping allows you to create interactive mock-ups of your designs, helping you visualize the user experience and gather feedback. Linking frames for navigation. Dear friends, select an element, click the Prototype tab in the Properties panel, and drag the blue arrow to the target frame. This creates a link between frames, simulating navigation. Defining interactions and triggers. Dear friends, customize interactions by setting triggers such as on click, hover, or drag. Choose the type of transition, like instant, dissolve, or slide, to define how the interaction behaves. So dear friends, now we move on to our second topic of today's discussion, which is adding transitions and animations. Transitions and animations enhance the interactivity of your prototypes, making them feel more realistic and engaging. Setting transition types. Dear friends, Figma offers various transition types, including instant, dissolve, and slide. Choose the one that best fits your design and user flow. Creating micro-interactions. Dear friends, use Smart Animate to create smooth animations between frames. This feature automatically animates differences between frames, like changes in position, size, or opacity. Using overlays and modals. Dear friends, add overlays and modals to your prototypes to simulate pop-ups and dialogues. Create a new frame for the overlay, then link it using the Prototype tab and choose Open Overlay. Dear friends, let's dive into the last topic of today's discussion, which is testing and sharing prototypes. Dear friends, testing and sharing your prototypes are crucial steps in the design process. Figma makes it easy to do both. Previewing prototypes. Dear friends, click the play button in the top right corner to enter prototype mode. Here, you can interact with your design as a user would and make adjustments as needed. Sharing for feedback. Dear friends, share your prototype with stakeholders and team members by clicking the share button and copying the link. You can set permissions for viewing, commenting, or editing. Gathering and implementing feedback. Dear friends, use Figma's commenting feature to gather feedback directly on your prototype. Review comments and make necessary adjustments to improve your design. Dear friends, I hope you have learned a lot about prototyping and interactivity. Now let's move on to our next topic, which is advanced prototyping techniques. Dear friends, once you're comfortable with basic prototyping, it's time to explore advanced techniques that can elevate your designs. Creating responsive prototypes. Dear friends, learn how to design and prototype for different screen sizes and orientations. Figma's auto layout feature helps you create adaptable designs that look great on any device. Using variables in prototypes. Dear friends, introduce variables to manage dynamic content within your prototypes. This feature allows you to simulate real-world user inputs like form fields and drop-downs. Interactive components. Dear friends, leverage Figma's interactive components to reuse elements with built-in interactions. This is particularly useful for buttons, navigation menus, and other repetitive elements across your design. Let's move on to our second last topic of today's discussion, which is optimizing prototype performance. Dear friends, large or complex prototypes can sometimes slow down, so it's essential to keep performance in mind. Reducing prototype complexity. Dear friends, simplify your prototypes by minimizing the number of frames and interactions. Use reusable components and nested frames to streamline your design. Optimizing images and assets. Dear friends, compress images and optimize vector assets to reduce file size and improve performance during prototype playback. Efficient use of overlays. Dear friends, limit the use of multiple overlays in a single prototype to avoid unnecessary loading times. Keep your overlays simple and purposeful. Dear friends, the very last topics of today's discussion is real-world application of prototypes. Dear friends, prototypes aren't just for testing. They can be valuable tools throughout the design process. Using prototypes in user testing. Dear friends, conduct user testing sessions with your interactive prototypes. Gather insights on user behavior and refine your design based on real-world feedback. Prototypes for stakeholder presentations. Dear friends, use your prototypes in presentations to stakeholders. An interactive prototype can communicate your vision more effectively than static images. Handoff to developers. Dear friends, prepare your prototypes for handoff to developers. Figma's inspect mode allows developers to see design specifications, making the transition from design to code seamless. Dear friends, that's a wrap on our prototyping and interactivity tutorial in Figma. You've learned how to create interactive prototypes, add transitions and animations, and test your designs. In our next video, we'll explore collaborating in Figma, where you'll learn how to work with teams, share feedback, and manage projects efficiently. Don't forget to subscribe to Digital Wiz Academy and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any updates. Let's continue mastering Figma together.